Question 1. On a 3-lane motorway, what is the rightmost lane used for? B. Overtaking other vehicles. The right-hand lane is for overtaking vehicles in the other lanes. Question 2. You are not allowed to reverse. C. Further than you actually need to. Reversing further than you need to may endanger others. Question 3. After you have driven through a flooded area, what should you do? A. Make sure that your brakes are working properly. When you have been driving in a flooded area, you need to make sure that your brakes are working properly to avoid an incident. Question 4. Which type of vehicle requires extra room when you overtake it? D. Motorcycle. A motorcycle will require more room because the wind can blow it off course. Question 5. There has been an accident and someone is unconscious. What is your highest priority? D. Check the individual's breathing. Stop any heavy bleeding. Call the emergency services. Check the unconscious individual's breathing and airway. If you suspect that the airway is blocked, lift the person's chin. Stop any heavy bleeding using the cleanest material you can find. Call the emergency services. Question 6. On a motorway, the left-hand lane is used for. B. Regular driving. The leftmost lane on the motorway is for normal driving, as people will join the motorway on this lane, and it is not for overtaking any other lane to its left. Question 7. If you want to park facing downhill, what should you do? C. Turn your front wheels towards the curb, and make sure you set the handbrake. Gravity will try to pull the car downhill. Be sure to set the handbrake and turn your front wheels towards the curb. If the car starts to roll downhill, it will roll towards the curb instead of out into traffic. Question 8. A dedicated cycle lane is marked by a solid white line. When are you permitted to cross that line? B. Never. You are never permitted to cross a solid white line. Question 9. Whilst you are driving, a police officer flashes his headlights at you from behind. He is pointing to the left. What should you do? C. Pull up on the left as soon as possible. You are required to pull up on the left as soon as you can do so safely. Question 10. When are you allowed to stop on a clear way? A. Never. So that traffic on a clearway can flow without being obstructed, you are never allowed to stop on a clearway. Question 11. What makes a toucan crossing different from other crossings? C. Cyclists can use it. Cyclists can use toucan crossings. Question 12. You have been in an accident, and another driver has a neck injury. Your vehicle has also been damaged. What information do you need from the other driver? C. The name, address, number, and car insurance details of the driver. You need to find out the name, number, address, and insurance of the other driver so that you can provide your insurance company with those details. This allows for further contact with the driver, too. Question 13. Where can you find a crawler lane on a motorway? D. On a steep gradient. A crawler lane on a motorway can be found on a steep gradient so that large, slow-moving vehicles will not obstruct traffic. Question 14. At a gated crossing without signals, after you called the operator and they confirmed it would be safe to cross, C. Open the gates on both sides and cross promptly. Some crossings have gates but no signals. At these crossings, stop, look both ways, listen and make sure that no train is approaching. If there's a railway telephone, you must contact the signal operator to make sure it's safe to cross. Question 15. If you are driving in strong winds and you want to overtake a motorcyclist, how should you go about it? B. Overtake the motorcyclist, giving the person as much room as possible. By remaining as far from the motorcyclist as possible, you can avoid a possible collision caused by strong winds pushing the motorcycle off course. Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video. Question 16. What is the speed limit of the outside lane on a motorway? A. 70 miles per hour. The legal speed limit on a motorway is 70 miles per hour, and this applies to all lanes on the motorway. Question 17. You have just joined a dual carriageway. What should you do first? B. Stay in the left-hand lane. You should stay in the left-hand lane until you have adequately grasped what is happening on the road. Question 18. You are able to drive on a footpath if A. You are approaching a property. You are only allowed to drive over a footpath to reach a property that you are legally allowed to enter. Question 19. Which of the following styles of driving is the most risky? B. Competitive. Competitive driving is dangerous for you and other drivers and can result in injuries and death. Question 20. You are trying to emerge from a junction, but there are parked vehicles restricting your view. What can you do to improve your zone of vision onto the other road? A. Inch forward and look through the windows of parked vehicles. Sometimes parked vehicles restrict your view so much that you need to stop and inch forward for a proper view before you emerge. Keep looking as you join the other road and be ready to stop. Question 21. When you're approaching a mini roundabout, you must A. Give way to vehicles on your right. At a mini roundabout, you are required to give way to traffic on your right. Question 22. You have been driving with your rear fog lights on because you had forgotten to turn them off. What effect may this have? D. It may break the law and dazzle other road users. If you leave your rear fog lights on, you may be stopped by the police. If so, you will likely be given a caution since the light can affect the sight of drivers behind you. Question 23. You're driving along a busy road when you realize you're in the wrong lane. What's the best course of action? C. Carry on in your lane and find another way back to your route. Position yourself in good time. If you find you're in the wrong lane, don't try to change by cutting across other drivers at the last moment. Carry on in your lane and find another way back to your route. Question 24. You are driving on a wet road. How large a gap do you need to leave between your car and the car in front of you? A. 4 seconds. In wet conditions, you should leave a 4-second gap, double the usual stopping distance. Question 25. You are allowed to use your hazard lights if A. Your vehicle has broken down. You should only use hazard lights when your vehicle has broken down because it presents an obstruction. It is not an obstruction if it is being towed. You are never allowed to double park or park on double yellow lines. Question 26. What should you do if you think the driver of the vehicle in front has forgotten to cancel their right indicator? B. Stay behind and don't overtake. Be cautious and don't attempt to overtake. The driver may be unsure of the location of a junction and may turn suddenly. Question 27. If you need to slow down quite quickly on a motorway, what should you do? D. Turn on your hazard lights. By putting on your hazard lights, you will be signaling to everybody else that there is a problem that justifies your sudden braking. This will warn other motorists to prepare to slow down as well. Question 28. What is an indication of a fault in the anti-lock braking system, ABS? D. A warning light on the dashboard is illuminated. If a fault develops in the anti-lock braking system, ABS, the ABS warning light on the dashboard will be illuminated. Question 29. If there is a bus at a bus stop in front of you, what should you do? B. Slow down and be prepared to stop in case the bus is about to move. You will need to give way. If the bus starts to indicate, the safest thing for you to do is to slow down and allow the bus to leave. Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video. Question 30. Excessive tire wear can be caused by C. Suspension problems. Problems with the suspension can cause increased tire wear. Question 31. You're driving on this dual carriageway. Why may you need to slow down? C. There are roadworks ahead of you. Look well ahead and read any road signs as you drive. They're there to inform you of what's ahead. In this case, you may need to slow down and change direction. Check your mirrors so you know what's happening around you before you change speed or direction. Question 32. At a traffic light, you are waiting behind a cyclist. What should you do when the light turns green? A. Give the cyclist plenty of time to move. To avoid a possible accident, you should make sure that the cyclist has the time and the space to move away from the traffic light. Question 33. You are driving behind a large goods vehicle. It moves left after signaling right. What should you do? B. Slow down and allow the vehicle to turn. A large vehicle may need to move to the left before turning right to avoid cutting off an object on its right. You should allow it the room it needs to complete the maneuver. Question 34. When you are driving in thick fog, you should stay far behind the vehicle in front of you. C. In case the vehicle in front has to stop abruptly. With increased distance between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you, you will be able to brake without risking a collision with the vehicle in front. Question 35. If you have a collision with another vehicle, what will reduce the chances of you injuring your neck? D. A properly adjusted headrest. The headrest on your seat needs to be adjusted correctly to provide you with appropriate support for your head. Question 36. When are you allowed to wait in a box junction? C. When you wish to turn right but are prevented from doing so by oncoming traffic. You are allowed to wait in a box junction only if you are waiting to turn right. Question 37. If you are going to reverse onto a side road but you do not know if the road is clear, what should you do? C. Get out of your vehicle and check if the road is clear. You should get out of the car and check to make sure that there is nothing in your way that you could possibly hit. Question 38. You are asked by a police officer to produce your documents but you do not have them with you. You must take them to a police station within days. D7. If you do not have your documents with you, you are given 7 days in which to produce them at a police station. Question 39. You are traveling at the legal speed limit, and the driver behind you flashes his or her headlights. You should C. Allow the vehicle to overtake you safely. It's safest to allow the car behind you to overtake you. Question 40. On a motorway, where can amber reflective studs be found? B. Between the carriageway and the central reservation. The amber reflective studs indicate the central reservation so that drivers will be aware that it is the outside lane. Question 41. If you already crossed the white line at a level crossing when the amber light comes on, you should C. Keep going. Most controlled level crossings have traffic light signals with a steady amber light, twin flashing red stop lights and an audible alarm for pedestrians. You must always obey the flashing red stop lights. You must stop behind the white line across the road. Question 42. There is a pedestrian nearby with a red and white stick. This person must be C. Blind and deaf. A person with a red and white stick can neither see you or hear you. You should be much more cautious. Question 43. When driving through a tunnel, which lights should you use? B. Dipped headlights. When approaching a tunnel, switch on your dipped headlights and take off your sunglasses. Question 44. How can you reduce your vehicle's fuel consumption? D. Do any of the above. The drag on a roof rack can increase fuel consumption by more than 15%. If your car's roof rack is removable, take it off when it's not in use. Running air conditioning continuously may increase fuel consumption by about 15%. Use air conditioning only when you really need it. Question 45. A road accident victim has an arm wound but is still able to move the arm. Why do you need to instruct the person to keep it upright? B. It reduces bleeding. Raising the arm reduces bleeding since less blood can flow to the hand against the pull of gravity. Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video. Question 46. What is the purpose of ESC, electronic stability control? D. Prevent a vehicle from skidding sideways. Electronic stability control, ESC, sometimes known as electronic stability program, ESP, allows the vehicle exactly where the driver expects and remain under control, providing the speed of the vehicle is not excessive for the situation. Question 47. If you are traveling down a steep hill, what can you do to control the vehicle? A. Change into a low gear and apply the brakes carefully. When going downhill, take your foot off the accelerator, gas, pedal, change into a low gear, even with an automatic gearbox, and apply your brakes carefully to keep the vehicle stable. With the throttle closed, engine braking will help slow the vehicle. Question 48. Before supervising a learner driver, you must hold your EC/EEA driving license for how many years? D. 3. You need to have at least 3 years experience with driving, meaning that you must have held your license for this period of time. Question 49. What would be an expected positioning of a horse rider in a roundabout? B. They would keep to the left-hand side of the road. Be aware that at roundabouts and at junctions where a horse rider is turning right, they may signal right but keep to the left-hand side of the road, and the outside lane round the roundabout, for safety. Question 50. Whilst you are driving, you are involved in a collision. What must you do first? B. Stop at the scene of the accident. Failing to stop after an accident is punishable by a maximum of 6 months imprisonment, a £5,000 fine, 5 to 10 penalty points on your driving record, and discretionary disqualification.